It probably never crossed the Indians' minds that their pride and joy, the LCA Tejas fighter jet, would be mocked by military enthusiasts worldwide, just as it was about to make a grand appearance at the Dubai Airshow. On November 17, 2025, during a static display at the Dubai Airshow, India's domestically developed Tejas fighter jet experienced persistent fluid dripping beneath its fuselage. Ground crew hastily collected the liquid using shopping bags, creating the appearance of an oil leak. This immediately sparked controversy over whether the leak exposed technical flaws in the aircraft. By November 18, India's Defense Research and Development Organization urgently clarified that the liquid was actually normal condensation, produced by the Environmental Control System, ECS. Yet behind this leak incident, three core questions persist. Do all fighter jets produce such condensation? Why did no other aircraft at the show exhibit similar scenes? Is the Tejas situation truly as normal as India claims? To determine whether the Tejas situation was normal, one must first clarify a key premise. Modern fighter ECS systems do generate condensation, and compliant discharge is standard industry practice. The ECS system in modern fighter jets functions as an in-flight air conditioning unit, primarily responsible for supplying oxygen to the cockpit, regulating temperature, and cooling avionics equipment. At high altitudes, the cockpit must maintain a comfortable temperature around 20 degrees C, while engine bleed air temperatures exceed 200 degrees C. The ECS rapidly cools this high-temperature gas to sub-zero temperatures via air circulation units. During this process, water vapor in the air condenses into liquid water, condensate. To prevent moisture from corroding airframe structures or disrupting equipment operation, all mainstream fighters incorporate dedicated drainage systems, typically 5-10 mm diameter metal conduits connecting one end to moisture separators, and the other to non-critical external areas. This ensures orderly condensate removal without dripping onto sensitive components. Take mainstream fighters like the US F-16 and China's J-10C as examples. Their ECS drainage ports are precisely positioned. During static parking, condensate drips along fixed trajectories onto the ground, with discharge volume strictly controlled by system operating conditions. Drainage occurs only briefly during initial ECS startup, or in high humidity environments, significantly decreasing once the system stabilizes. From a technical standpoint, the Indian Defense Research Institute's assertion that condensation drainage is normal is indeed grounded in evidence, not mere justification. Why did other aircraft at the exhibition not leak? The difference lies in design details and operational protocols. If condensation drainage is standard practice, why did only the Tejas spark controversy at the Dubai Airshow? The answer lies in the nuances of drainage methods and on-site management. From a design perspective, mature aircraft drainage systems often avoid visual controversy. Take the European Typhoon and French Rafale fighters as examples. Their drainage ducts feature splash guards at the ends, or drainage ports are concealed within fuselage panel gaps. Even when discharging condensation, this prevents noticeable dripping. Some aircraft also incorporate small collection boxes beneath drainage ports to temporarily store condensation during static display, avoiding direct dripping onto the ground that could cause misunderstandings. In contrast, footage of the Guanghui fighter shows liquid dripping unobstructed from the lower midsection of the fuselage. The discharge volume is substantial enough to require ground crew to frequently replace shopping bags, a stark contrast to other exhibited fighters showing no noticeable leakage. This inevitably raises external questions about potential flaws in its drainage system design, such as excessively large duct diameters, insufficient water separator efficiency, or drainage port placement failing to avoid visually sensitive areas. From an operational standards perspective, professional ground crews would proactively prevent such basic embarrassments. During the Dubai Airshow, with daily temperatures averaging 30-35 degrees C in a hot, humid environment, ECS activation naturally increases condensate production slightly. Yet mature Air Force ground procedures involve preparing dedicated collection containers in advance, not resorting to makeshift shopping bags. More critically, mainstream fighter ECS systems feature a static mode. During ground displays, adjusting bleed airflow and reducing cooling efficiency minimizes condensate generation. Should prolonged ECS operation be required, professional equipment is readily available for collection. In contrast, the Indian ground crew's use of shopping bags not only appeared rushed, but also exposed their unfamiliarity with ECS drainage patterns. Additionally, other participating nations' awareness of mitigating public relations risks is noteworthy. For instance, during static displays, Russia's Su-35S fighter jets proactively deactivate non-essential ECS functions, maintaining only basic cockpit ventilation. Meanwhile, the U.S. F-35A typically completes ECS system preheating before exhibitions, ensuring most condensation is drained prior to arrival. These meticulous procedures reflect both a deep understanding of their equipment's capabilities and a professional approach to public airshow displays. Whereas the Tejas controversy starkly exposes India's shortcomings in operational experience and on-site management, the Tejas' normal appearance raises deeper questions about technological maturity. Setting aside differences in design details and operational protocols, the core question remains unresolved. Even if the condensation drainage was compliant, was the Tejas situation truly normal? The answer requires a comprehensive assessment of its development history and current technical status. As India's flagship indigenous fighter developed over 30 years, the Tejas ECS system was not entirely self-designed. Its core components initially relied on technology licensing from Israel's Elbit Systems, until domestic substitution was achieved in 2022. Public records indicate persistent stability issues with the domestically produced ECS system. India's Air Force Maintenance Report, 2024, noted that some Tejas ECS systems experience moisture separator failures in high-temperature environments, preventing complete condensate separation and triggering abnormal drainage. Additionally, pilots reported occasionally sensing minor water droplets inside the cockpit during low-altitude flights, suggesting potential leaks in the drainage duct seals. The fluid leakage observed at the Dubai Airshow aligns with these reported issues. If merely normal condensation, why would the discharge volume require frequent collection in shopping bags? Why did the drainage patterns deviate from fixed trajectories, instead randomly dripping beneath the airframe? More notably, the Indian Defence Research Institute's clarification deliberately avoided a critical detail. Did the Tejas fighter's ECS drainage ducts pass high-temperature endurance testing? Per international aerospace standards, fighter ECS systems must operate stably between -55 degrees C and +70 degrees C, with drainage systems undergoing over 1,000 cycle tests to ensure no leaks or blockages. However, as of 2025, the indigenously developed ECS system for the Tejas fighter jet has yet to release a complete high-temperature testing report, leaving the claim of normal drainage lacking critical data support. A more compelling comparison lies in the Indian Air Force's own operational practices. During domestic training in India, Tejas aircraft rarely activate their ECS systems for extended periods in high temperatures, instead relying on ground-based air conditioning vehicles to cool cockpits. This operational detail indirectly reflects the Indian military's lack of confidence in their fighters' ECS system stability under extreme heat. At the Dubai Airshow, the Indian Air Force felt compelled to activate the ECS system to demonstrate indigenous capabilities. The subsequent fluid leakage issue fundamentally exposed the system's insufficient technical maturity. Reviewing the Tejas development timeline reveals a 36-year journey from its 1983 inception to formal induction in 2019, repeatedly delayed by technical hurdles. Post-induction, the aircraft faced multiple rejections by the Indian Air Force due to issues like insufficient engine thrust and poor avionics compatibility, with the first batch of 20 units only barely delivered in 2023. This pattern of repeated delays and subpar performance has kept the international community perpetually wary of its technical reliability. In the recent fuel leak incident, the amateurish response of ground crew using shopping bags to contain the spill further reinforced the stereotype of India's military industry as crude. Even if the Indian technical explanation holds water, the public remains more inclined to believe it masks underlying technical flaws. For the Tejas fighter, this incident is less a case of public misunderstanding than a wake-up call for maturation. To truly shed its controversial reputation, post-incident clarifications alone are insufficient. Only by addressing technical shortcomings, refining management processes, and ensuring equipment performance withstands both combat and public scrutiny can it earn genuine external recognition.